Now that some of you hopefully have a different perception about the Hebrew Israelite situation, I want to continue to talk to the called and the chosen among you. May I ask you a question, angry Hebrews? When you read John 16, 1 through 4, what do you perceive? Again, I am only talking to the called and the chosen among you. The rest won't even truly understand the spirit of what's being said. John 16, 1 through 4, quote, "These things have I spoken unto you, that ye shall not be offended." Stop! Just like Peter in his warnings about Paul's writings, the Messiah is saying he is telling you this before it happens, so you may acknowledge it and hopefully navigate around it when it's all going down. Let's continue. "They shall put you out of the synagogues." Stop! To put you out of the synagogues can only mean you were in or a part of their synagogues. I will prove beyond a shadow of a doubt by the end of this video. Your new understanding will be at odds with the old regime, and everybody knows the first reaction of someone who has just been called: anger. But wait, that's not all. Check out what comes next. Quote, "Yea, the time cometh, that whosoever killeth you will think that he is doing God's service. And these things will they do unto you, because they have not known the Father nor me. But these things have I told you, that when the time shall come, ye may remember that I told you of them. And these things I said not unto you at the beginning, because I was with you." Example, to kill you thinking he is doing God's service can only mean he is a devout religious man. Unless you believe the Muslims are going to come and take America over in the not so distant future, this can only be talking about either a Hebrew waking up in a Christian church or a seasoned Hebrew that is waking up in a Hebrew cult. Camp. Seeing the Christians are all on the love train of white Jesus and will throw you a goodbye party just because they loves you, versus the Hebrew Israelites on every corner full of rage and promising to cut cats' heads off. Well, you know what I'm saying. Well, you know which one I'm going to believe. But I believe I know how, what, when, and why this is going to happen. But that is for the next video. But if you're still not convinced, and I know most definitely you're not, maybe this next warning will shake your rump. Again, look at these things in the spirit and not what you think will never happen. Matthew 10, 16 through 19. Quote, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. But ye therefore be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. But beware of men." Stop! The word "but" is a conjunction and means, quote, used to introduce something contrasting with what has already been mentioned. Meaning, being sent in the midst of sheep and wolves and being warned of men are not the same warning. In essence, wolves and men are not the same. Now here comes the tricky part, the big fig Newton. For context sake, please notice this next prophecy is a continuous thought and chain of events. You ready? 1. Quote, 1. "For they will deliver you up to the councils, and 2. They will scourge you in their synagogues." Stop! Notice 1 and 2 are obviously in the same locations because those of the synagogues administer their council's brand of street justice of smiting you. Does this sound like a bunch of lawyers, bankers, jewelers, and high-rolling thieves? But let's keep going, shall we? Quote, 3. "And ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles." Stop! Remember, this is one continuous event. So those who smited you will deliver you to the white devil, huh? But did you notice why they are doing all of this? because you are testifying against them and the kings and rulers, the Gentiles. Sounds like those who run the synagogues are already in league with the authorities, and because you being a peculiar type of troublemaker against the established order of chaos, I'll explain that next. Well, let me go back and say that again, because it's important. Sounds like those who run the synagogues are already in league with the authorities, and because you being a peculiar type of troublemaker against the established order of chaos, I will explain in the next video, you must be dealt with extreme prejudice. Their wicked mind will make them perceive you are the cancer. And who doesn't know what happens to the cancer so the rest of the body may live? Hence, the first passage of your death. But all is not lost, and maybe your lives can be saved if you remember what the Messiah told you, that he is telling you before it even happens, what to watch out for and what to do. If you can do that and remember this next part, it may go well with you. Let's continue. Quote, but when they deliver you up, talking about your brothers, to the white devils, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your dad which speaketh in you. Example, do not think you are slick, or because you have the gift of gab, think you can get out of this situation. Human nature will have your mind racing, trying to figure out what to say next. Basically, don't be like Paul and further the affliction with lies. If you can put you out of the equation and focus in on Yah, you might fare well. But wait, Yah is awesome and has given you a time parameter for his coming already. It will be within the hour of your judgment. He will tell you what to say and not a moment before. Remember that. Important, remember that. But I sense the cauldron of deception stirring, and the rebellion is strong in you. So I will give you yet another indicator of who your imminent enemies are, and the Judas goat sent to deceive the meek at heart. Matthew 5:11 through 12. Quote, blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely, for my sake. Stop! So as you can see, this is for a religious matter and not a civil one, because it's for the Messiah's sake. Let's keep going. Quote, rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Example. Question. Did the Gentiles persecute the prophets of Israel? Did the nations persecute the prophets of Israel? Did the Christians persecute the prophets of Israel? Did the Muslims persecute the prophets of Israel? Did the Nubians, womb worshippers, black Xenu Muslims? No. The only people who persecuted the prophets of Israel is Israel. Allow me to use that last point to talk to a brother I absolutely love his passion. Brother, I said I was going to do a video in response to your position, but upon further review and the sheer number of hate responses I'm trying to honor, this last piece of understanding is a good one to prove my point to you. I understand your anger and your willingness to fight the man, but we must be sanctioned by the Creator first. Then and only then can no man stand before you. If you go outside of sanction and do what I know seems and feels right in our worldly eyes, we will be slaughtered like animals, just like our ancestors made the same mistake conquering our promised land with Philistines. This is the part where we have to actually do what we say. Are we going to honor him with our mouths and say we believe in him, and lean to our own understanding and might? Or will we believe in him only and trust he is almighty? Wait on and trust Yah, brother. He promised through the scriptures his called and chosen will know it is him that doeth these things for us. Wait on and trust Yah, brother. He also promised through the scriptures you will finally get your chance to ride on this nation, ride on this racist power structure, and say to the whole damn government, stick 'em up, motherfucker! This is a hold up. We come for what's ours.